This. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage Michael Redmond, Ben Keaton, Patrick MacDonald, the cast of Father Ted. Yeah, there we go.
How are you doing?
Great. Hello. Now, just before we start, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that there is one seat empty. Now, he's okay. He's all right. But Mr. Joe Rooney, unfortunately, he's a bit delayed getting here. He was at the airport and he's gone through customs and they found a whistle. We'll just leave that there, okay? Well, lads, how he's doing?
I'm still fine.
I'm high as a kite in Lucas Aid.
Should we shuffle along? Because he's effectively dead.
No, I smell wee and...
Huh?
Yeah, I think we
well,
should.
I couldn't hold it in.
Yeah,
I was very nervous.
We should, yeah.
Yeah, go on there.
I'll tell you, I'll move up. I'll move up.
You come in here.
We want to move up.
So,
right, okay,
how are you doing, lads?
I'm great. How are you? This won't be difficult on your ears at all, will it?
No, God, I can't hear you. So, lads, you are used to, doing conventions and stuff.
Turn
like
off
that.
your mobile phones.
Whose phone is ringing?
Oh my God!
That's one of the organisers. Well done.
5 Hail Marys for that. No, right now. I mean, right now. Go on. So obviously,
I think that might be Joe actually.
It's Joe ringing to say he's on the way.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he on the way?
No, he's not. No,
He's not on the way.
he hasn't left Bradford yet, apparently. No. So you'll be waiting a long time.
Oh dear God.
Never mind.
Oh yeah, I said, oh dear God. Then maybe that'll move him along.
Why are all those people sitting way at the back and they're not up here?
Come on, come on down.
Come on down.
Anyone at the back?
Well, maybe paid less.
If you don't come down, I'll go and get you.
Come on down. Hello, we don't bite. There's social workers here. There's priests I know, but
No, they're not moving, apparently.
no, won't budge.
Oh, there's 2 people coming. Here they are. Well done.
Brilliant. Round of
See,
applause.
there's brave people. The rest of you are cowards. Come on, let's give them a round of applause.
Well done.
Oh, there's people sneaking in over there as well. We saw you.
Well done.
How you doing?
5 Our Fathers now? No? Okay, no. Okay.
Right, okay. I think that's probably it, is it?
So, lads,
Right.
yous are used to doing conventions and stuff like that.
Yes.
Would you have, when you did Father Ted first, would you have thought that now you'd still be as popular as it is?
Absolutely no idea it would be, no. Because, I mean, I was also in the first series, the second episode of the first series, so it hadn't even gone out on television then. So, because sometimes you do a sitcom, it just fades away. And even if it is good, it lasts maybe 5 or 6 years. But this is not what... It was 1994 when I did my episode. That's 29 years ago. And I'm still alive, believe it or not. At least I think I am, anyway.
So when what was the process for going for Father Ted for the 3 of yous?
Well, I've just spoken to somebody else. Say something.
For me, it was meeting the 2 writers. They came to see me do stand-up, and they liked what I did, and I think they tried to want to recreate that. So they based on my stand-up persona. The other thing is, before I was in Father Ted, my job just before that was that I was a jumper salesman. So I really do love jumpers.
Is that actually true?
Oh, it's absolutely true. I am an expert in jumpers. If you want to ask any questions on jumpers later, I can tell you. And I do love cake as well. Not jumpers in cake. That's the only thing. But they came to see me. So I mean, I don't think anyone went for the part of Owen. It was basically a part they'd kind of written for me. So it wasn't too hard. I know the lads had auditioned. They probably did.
Well, it was the same thing with me. They came to. I was doing a gig in London at the Bloomsbury Theatre. It was a kind of an Irish comedy night with Ardle and Dylan Moran, I think it was. And these 2 guys come up to me in the foyer after the show and said they were writing a sitcom about 3 priests on an island in the west of Ireland, and they said they might have a part for me. And I thought, 3 priests on an island in the west of Ireland sounds like dreadful, It could be crap,
Yeah.
But about 6 months later, I was just called in to kind of... It wasn't quite an audition. They just asked me to say a few lines, like, I'm still fine and, will I leave if there's a fire, that kind of thing. And it was all over in 5 minutes and I got the part, yeah. But I think that kind of, for all of us, it was the same. I think the guys sort of wrote the part with us in mind, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah.
It wasn't really that hard to audition because they kind of had decided really they wanted us for that. I think you kind of had to improvise a bit, I think, didn't you, compared to the rest of us?
Yeah, I saw the first series, and I did what all actors, Irish actors in London were doing, and called me agent and going, what the hell, why am I not in this? So I was called in to audition, and there was a queue all the way upstairs to about the second or third floor of fellas, and I was auditioning for the Dancing Priest. And they gave me the script, and I did the thing and all that. And then they said, actually, we've got another part, but it's really quite tricky. It's a boring piece, and we're not really getting it. We don't know what to do with it. Could you take it away and have a go? So I went downstairs to the loo, and I locked it, which was difficult because 40 guys on the stairs all wanted to have a piss at the same time. And I locked myself in for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I went back up, and that was Father Austin, sort of exactly as it was.
So that's where the voice came from. You locked yourself in a toilet.
In a toilet on my own. And so people outside were hearing, oh, you still they must thought I was straining. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I never lock myself in a toilet. I have to wait till somebody else in there already. Then I come in.
Yeah.
Well, I think after that you definitely needed some roughage, with all the other people that would have been there.
Yeah. No, but it was great though, because it was the scripts are so brilliantly written. And
they were. And
then on the day as well, for me, they were adding in more things. They were coming up it's yourself, that thing was just before the take. They just try that thing. And when that happened and the laugh was so big, I thought, well, they're going to trim it. Yeah. Because the laugh was too big. But it was brilliantly written, and very generous, all of them. They were really good. They had lots of guest actors, and they were terrifically good with everybody, I think.
And was there ever, for the three of you, was there ever a time that they thought, well, maybe bring you back for another episode?
Apparently it was mooted that I would be in another episode, but the producer said no. So I've hated him ever since. I think he thought there wasn't much else I could do with that character,
Joe was in another episode. Joe was in the airport.
Was in the airplane.
Yeah, and he got extra money for that.
Of course he would be in that one, wouldn't it? The one that crashed.
And I was in the second last episode. So unfortunately, Dermot died. It's 25 years now since he passed away. Yeah. But so it was the second last episode ever, and they were going to drop the series, so I had no chance of coming back.
Oh, right. The second last episode?
The second last episode, yeah.
Didn't realise that. So have you all watched? Are you all Father Ted fans, or are you just pretending to be?
Has anyone not seen Father Ted?
There's bound to be one.
No, because it'd be very confusing.
Those people up on the balcony up there, they're very strong. What are they doing? They're very... Hello?
Yeah. They were...
What? You've seen it?
Well done. Well done, you. What an effort you've made. Well done. Congratulations. Only took
Can you
25
see us from
years.
up there? A little.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's all right. When you were born, it was in black and white.
So, how were your experiences on the set? How was it? I'll go with yourself, Ben, first.
Yeah. Well, they recorded on the South Bank in London at the ITV studios, and I was on whatever it is, 6th floor of that. So I rehearsed with them. They were near the end of the series that I was in, and they were all knackered. So they had the sort of set marked out on the floor in tape, and I remember there was a sort of a cot bed, and I think Ardle was asleep on that, and they were just worn out because it was so exhausting, putting the whole thing together. But the rehearsal was lovely. I remember we were going through one of the scenes, and it was all quiet at one point, and your man wakes up and goes, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry, feck!" He'd forgotten his line.
There are children in the audience, don't forget.
How could you forget your line? And it's feck. And,
feck.
And then when it came to the actual filming, the sort of little cubbyhole thing I was in was around the back of the set. So the cameras were all on the main room, and I was way over there. So all that stuff, with all the response, that was weird, because I had a camera in front of me, and there was wah, wah, like this from over on another side. But it was terrifically good fun. What was it like for your recordings?
It was fun.
He wrote all his own material.
It was well. The thing was, when I did it, was obviously I didn't have many words, but it hadn't been shown on television, as I said. So the studio audience didn't know anything about it, and nobody was laughing. It was dreadful. It was just silence. when I said I'm fine, or I suppose, and I thought, this is going to die because nobody's laughing, but because nobody knew the characters then.
Yeah.
Probably for your series, for your episode, everybody knew.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But when I did it, nobody knew who we were. So,
Yeah.
But it was very relaxing because I knew Dermot from Dublin. I also knew Ardle from the stand-up circuit. So, and I also knew the producer from something else. So it was quite relaxed. It was nice. It was just very, very friendly, really. Yeah. Apart from the bit when we had to stand in the rain and get electrocuted, that wasn't very pleasant. There's actually a story about that when Ardle will tell you as well, when we were getting saturated. It was actual rain. It wasn't false rain. But they hadn't anticipated that it was going to rain so much, the producers. And we were really saturated after we filmed the scene. But apparently there was a cottage nearby. And the producer went up and said, they didn't know he's a producer. They didn't know we were filming. It's just this English guy went up to this cottage and said, is it possible that 3 priests could change into clothes because they're saturated? And he didn't explain why. And she just said, yeah, come in.
And she probably sorry, Father. Thank you, Father.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. It was probably because they were priests, But he didn't explain why we were dressed as priests. He just thought it was 3 priests who had sort of wandered into the wilderness and got saturated.
Some sort of pilgrimage.
Yeah, pilgrimage. Yeah. Looking for the grave of St. Patrick or something. Yeah.
And obviously, Patrick, you were the second last episode. So
Yeah.
so what was it like? They knew it was winding down.
Yeah.
What was it like?
So, I mean, first thing up was filming the exterior shots in County Clare. Mm-hmm. So I did 2 days filming there, and we drank a lot in Clare. So I was hungover. I can't really remember much about filming those scenes. But I remember the writers are very open to us ad-libbing a bit. So when the old ladies were chasing us, I came up with the line, I did, go away, I don't want to catch the menopause.
Did you just ad-lib that one, didn't you?
Yeah. We just said, no, just think of something to say. So I just kind of come up with that. And then I remember being chased by the old women down in Clare, and they were mad. I remember we did a big huddle photograph, and one of them pinched me on the bottom. So that's my Me Too movement there. Outrageous.
You were always the sex symbol of the series.
I was a sex symbol, yeah. And, I'm very good looking. But what do you call it? No, so that was filming down in Clare, and that was grand. Because you were just on with the guys, and they're just like people like Ardle, especially we knew. Then I went to London, and we rehearsed all week in London. And of course, just like everyone else, you get laughs, and you're kind of novelty in the rehearsal room, and you're getting laughs. Then you go out to film, and they were huge by that time. Yeah. That third series, they were superstars. Yeah. So it was hard to get any laughs. Like when they were like, people were there dressed as Dougal, dressed as Jack in the audience, and it was phenomenal. The atmosphere was phenomenal. And so, I mean, we got laughs on that, but they were getting bigger laughs. But I remember just being bored eventually on the set. I remember getting nearly falling asleep because Frank Kelly would love to tell old anecdotes.
Basically, actor anecdotes. Yeah.
Actor anecdotes. He'd always, during rehearsals, he'd tell you all about, things he did in the Gaiety and all of this. And, he'd start dozing off. I like that. And, because he wasn't like Father Jack at all. He was quite erudite. He was always doing crosswords and that, And, and on the set then, I remember just sitting down, you wouldn't believe it, but going, there's 300 people there, and I was going, oh God, he was telling me, I can't remember what the anecdote was, but I remember just this. And, okay, next scene, okay, God, if I could just concentrate then, But yeah, at that time, I knew it was already huge. So when I was in it, it was already a massive show. Yeah. But no idea. I mean, I thought at most I'd be able to sign off that week, not realizing, 25 years later, still milking it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, nothing wrong with milking it, I suppose.
No way.
Absolutely not. Now, recently we obviously had the anniversary of both Dermot Morgan and Frank Kelly.
Yeah.
And amazing that they both died on the same day, but just years apart.
Yeah.
What was it like working with the two of them on the set?
It was great. I mean, it was fun. I knew Dermot already from Dublin. We were mates in Dublin because we only lived up the road from each other. And I'd done stuff for RTE before I went to London, and long before Father Ted. So I knew Dermot really well, And I also knew Ardle from the comedy circuit. So it was just good fun, really. It didn't feel like a job at all. It was just a bit of a laugh,
So it was just a fun time. It was never work, really. It was just
not really. No. Well, not for me anyway.
Yeah, the atmosphere. They were. I didn't know them, but it was easy right the way through. They were very friendly, And it was a good crack, and they were having fun anyway. They were tired from doing the work because it was just an endless kind of schedule. But it was, you were completely made at home, and also the fact that you had a great script, and they were very relaxed with it. I was able to. They asked me to improvise when I was in the cupboard thing at the end, and all of that kind of thing, and they were terrific with it. It was very generous. Yeah, most things, if you do a TV thing, it's oh boy,
quite tense,
it's get the punctuation right, like they're really on it, and they go, no, we paid other people to do the writing, that's why we pay other people. So, but this is completely different. And I really applaud them for that. I think that really shows in the series. But it was great. It was fun. That's probably why I don't remember too much. I remember bits and pieces. But something bad has to happen before you really remember it. And in actual fact,
when you're up in court or whatever, you have to.
Yeah. It was really strange that both Dermot and Frank died on the same date.
Yeah.
And all of us.
What date is that?
28th February.
Oh, we missed it for another year.
We don't get out of bed on the 28th February.
Stay in bed on the 28th
Every time
of February,
that comes around now, it's going to scare me. 28th of February.
It's bound to happen to one of us soon.
But for me, it was working with your heroes, because the first thing I remember, the first comedy show I remember was Hall's Pictorial Weekly back in the 70s. And there's a picture of me when I'm about 3 or 4 pulling the face that Frank Kelly pulled. I'm like this. He's the councillor in Ballymacash. I couldn't believe that I was working with them.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then Dermot had done Scrap Saturday. Now, not many people would remember that here. That was one of the first really good Irish comedy shows that was on the radio.
Does anybody remember Scrap Saturday as a matter of interest?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Like the level of writing, the quality of the writing was just as good, if not better than anything in Britain. And that was Dermot, and so it was working with your heroes.
Yeah.
And Ardle even was like kind of very good stand-up at the time.
He just moved to London, I think.
Yeah, and Pauline had been in Scrap Saturday, so it was amazing for me.
And the producers were very relaxed as well. There was no pressure, as you say. It was quite nice and sort of easygoing, the whole thing.
No, the English people couldn't pronounce Owen. They couldn't. They kept saying, "Okay, Ewan, when you walk over here, Ewan, feck off, it's Owen." 800 years and you never learned to say Owen. I can have you killed. Anyway.
Oh, God. So obviously, Joe isn't here, so I think we should touch on that a little bit. And
he's in Bradford Airport.
We could try and ring him.
We try. What?
No, seriously.
I'll see if I can get him on the line.
Joe actually, he auditioned for the part of Damo. They had the guy from EastEnders. That guy, he was in that film, is it 300? I can't remember his name now. He had an Irish name. He was up for it. He was in EastEnders at the time, but Joe got that part. And I know some of Joe's anecdotes, but I can't remember them now.
Was he late for the audition?
He was late for the audition. Yeah.
He probably wasn't.
Yeah.
Flying from Bradford. Are you actually going to ring him,
Yeah, well, he's giving it a go.
What could possibly
He's probably
go
on the plane
wrong?
now.
He might be on the plane, yeah. That wouldn't stop Joe doing something.
Let's see what happens.
Was anybody any questions while he's doing that? No?
Huh?
It's gone very silent. Anybody any questions they want to ask?
Yeah.
There's a man there.
Oh, it's ringing. It's ringing.
Oh, sorry, hold on a sec, sorry.
Now, Joe, how are you?
How you doing? How's it going? All right, yeah.
Yeah, listen.
I'm just sitting on the plane now.
Yeah, I don't care. Listen, Joe. Joe, we're here in front of a live audience now, and we have a question for you. Joe, why are you so late?
Always.
Back off.
Joe, we're missing you. We're missing you. When do you think you'll be here?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here like a frosty won't let me off the plane. So I think I'll arrive at.
I'm losing you, Joe. I'm losing you. I'm losing interest in what you're saying, Joe.
I'm trying to drive the plane at the same time.
Yeah.
I think about 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry
Who does he
about
like,
that.
Blur or
Sorry,
Oasis?
okay.
What?
Who do you like, Blur or Oasis?
Yeah. So, Joe, tell us your one memory now for this lovely audience of Father Ted. Your one best happy memory of doing Father Ted, and make it snappy.
Just playing football. Love playing football. You know what I mean? Doing tricks, that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right.
Well, it's been great talking to you. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, we'll see you. Listen, we'll see you here shortly. Looking forward to having you here, fella.
See you later. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, see you. Bye-bye.
Okay, lovely.
Bye, Joe.
Applause from him. There he goes.
Don't applaud him.
Yeah, the boss was late.
You're rewarding him for not coming.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a couple of questions now, and I
That
need
man
your
was
help here.
first.
So
That man was
you've got
first.
mic stands either side here. So if you want to just walk up to the mics, and we'll go side to side there.
Don't swear.
So, what was your favourite moment in Father Ted?
Favourite moment?
I mean, of our own episode or just in general?
Just
In general.
in general. My favourite moment was being in the cupboard and being left to improvise, because I can say that I've written some Father Ted, which is legend. So my favourite part was doing that. What about yourself? There, Mike?
Obviously, walking in and sitting on the toilet while Dermot was in the bath, I think that was definitely... I didn't know they were going to put a fart noise in, though. So they had to take take it twice, because when they did the first one and I heard the fart noise, I laughed. Even though you wouldn't necessarily notice me laughing, but I did laugh. So they had to do it twice, but that was my favourite episode, I think. Favourite scene, sorry, not episode.
Turning around and saying, I've no willy. Not realising that would follow me for the rest of my life. When I went to sign on the next week, they said, I've no willy, how are you, Patrick? Yeah. And eating the jam, because we hadn't rehearsed that, so I just stuffed my face with jam. And picking up the jumper we hadn't rehearsed that, so that was on the take, and it was super heavy. That was really full of moisture, and I had to pick it up, and it was a real weight. And the cake tasted awful. Sure, it was full of chemicals or something. It was rotten.
Do you know something? I never thought that we run the gas off the electricity, and the electricity and the gas would have its moment in history, as it has had in the last year.
Can you actually do that? Is it possible?
Yeah, it is possible, yeah. God love us, he'll kill himself by next year. He'll never make it to February.
In terms of doing your scenes, though...
You can sit down now.
If you want to, you don't. You can stand up if you
stay
want.
we are.
You don't have to sit down, it's all right.
In terms of doing the scenes, obviously it is a comedy, so it can be quite difficult in terms of the amount of takes you have to do. You said yourself you had to do 2 takes for On the Toilet, but
yeah, but apart from that, I didn't have to do any, because I had very little to say, really.
Didn't do any retakes. No.
Yeah.
I did. Now, no, tell you what now, Dermot, we were worried about Dermot's health. Dermot obviously died a week later, but we had concerns about his health all week when we were rehearsing. Now, when we were doing the exterior shots a few months before, it wasn't so bad, but all week people were saying he should go to a doctor.
Really?
Yeah, it's like he had something like gout or something. Like there was all sorts of rumours about what was wrong, but he was very unfocused. And on the set, and when we recorded that, he did forget lines quite a bit now. So it was kind of hard to concentrate and keep the concentration up that night. So it took about 3 hours to film that episode, where normally it'd be 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. Yeah. But it took 3 whole hours, and so that was hard going.
Gosh.
You say it took you about 2-3 hours to do that episode. Yeah. When you think of acting and actors and stuff like that, you can go for 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 hours. That seems quite short.
Well, if you're doing filming like we would film,
filming, it's not
other
like
shows,
stage work,
you sit down, you're drinking coffee and just giving out about other actors for the day, but and giving out about how much you're not getting paid. But
speak for yourself, Patrick. I got paid a fortune.
But on that, no, when you're filming in front of the audience, it's all overdone quickly. That's a good thing about it.
Yeah.
And they've loads of cameras. Like normally when you're filming a series for RTE, there's one camera, that's all they can afford. And so you're just there, fair city of one camera, but and no actors. But
this is all the bitterness of us all coming out.
Yeah, it is bitter. We're not being filmed, but but no, you had 4 cameras, and so you're all covered. So you normally get through it fairly quickly.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite easy to do.
We go for another question.
Waiting a while there, yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
Lovely to meet you. I have 2 questions, if that's okay.
It's not Boris Johnson.
What?
You do, but no, it's more like Boris Johnson's father, it is.
My first question is about the Owen McLove character, and I was wondering how much of it was based very deliberately on Daniel O'Donnell. And I asked that because my granddad was his song arranger, and he said that Owen McLove was a lot like Daniel O'Donnell.
There is a solicitor here, so I have to be very careful. It is kind of based on Daniel. Obviously it is, you know. I mean, there was quite a few country and western singers around at that time. And so, I mean, it really resonates in Ireland. In England, they don't really know what it was based on. They're just very confused. Definitely based on him. I saw him one day in the Blanchardstown shopping centre, and I tried to make eye contact, and he looked away. And people say he didn't. He says in public he's never seen it. But I know a guy who directed his recent video, and he says he's seen it.
That's awesome. My second question is, since you get so many comedians there, did any of the main cast do anything unexpected while you were filming?
Well, one of them died
not for me
a week
because
later.
of yes, that was fairly unexpected. Yeah. Not for me though, because it was the first second episodes. They were probably a bit nervous of mucking around. So maybe in the later episodes.
Dermot would have messed around with the
Yeah.
crowd a bit, you know.
Yeah.
I've seen video footage of that, you know.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
If between takes he'd do a bit of stand-up with it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we have another question on the right.
Thanks, Boris.
Stanley.
Hey, sorry. This isn't exactly related to the show, but I'm curious now. I'm going to bring it back to earlier in the conversation.
That's the lawyer there.
Blur or Oasis?
Blur
Or Oasis.
Which one?
Oasis.
I'm a Blur head, I have to say that. I think the two guys from Oasis are Egypts, and
Yeah.
so I'm more for Blur. I am.
I probably. I mean, I don't really care, but I probably, if I have to answer a question, I would say Blur. Yeah.
Blur. Yeah, Blur or Oasis. Oh, God, no. Hang on.
He doesn't know who either are, so he just.
He's a more a Joe Dolan type of guy. Daniel O'Donnell, actually.
Daniel O'Donnell. I met Daniel O'Donnell.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I filmed him once. I spent a day with him.
Did he know you were?
Did he
filming?
know?
I spent a day with him. He washed my feet. That's not normal.
No, it's not right.
No, he didn't. But he has a thing which he does, which is incredible.
I don't have a thing.
He memorizes your name and he memorizes details about you. And if he meets you again in 10 years, he goes, "Ben, how you doing? How are the kids?" Yeah. And
God.
he's known and loved in a lot of venues because he can go in and he can say to the doorman, you know, Patrick, how's it going? How's Mary? And stuff like this.
Thank God he
It's
doesn't work for social welfare. I have to say
Yeah.
that.
Quite a gift. You could learn something
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Go
I'm
on.
just glad I never met him.
Now we have another question on the left here.
Hello.
Hello, fathers.
Go on.
So I think you probably mentioned it earlier. Was there ever an idea to do a sequel or spin-off series of Father Ted? And if there was, would you ever come back for one? Like,
Yeah,
just
well,
say
I certainly would go back if they did, but there was going to do a musical.
Father Ted the musical.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to do Father Ted the music, but I don't think it's going to happen now. But yeah, I would
Again, there
certainly-
are lawyers here, and
Yeah, I would certainly do it if there was. Yeah, but I mean, it could be very difficult without Dermot, really, to be honest.
if the money was right, we'd do anything. You know?
Yeah.
But they did say that they was going to finish. They're going to finish after 3 series.
Yeah.
That definitely was the plan. And Dermot was going to film another series. He'd written a series because at the time he was going in and out of meetings, but he was going to do something about ex-footballers. That was definitely going to happen, you know. So he definitely wanted to move on from that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But the musical went a long way, didn't it, in the development
Not
of it?
really. I think Graham's bullshit in that. I mean, they did do a read through. They never rehearsed. It never got to rehearsal.
Didn't they really?
No. They got to a read through. They weren't
Oh, I
nearly
see.
ready to go. No.
I see. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now on the right.
I'm just wondering, do you think there'll be another show that has the same impact and influence again? And I suppose, were you expecting it to be that impactful?
If it was under our control, there certainly won't be. No. I don't.
It's
You
hard to
don't
know.
know.
Television's changed, though. I mean, not
Yeah.
many people watch things now. You know, like a lot of people here probably don't watch RTE, do you? No, we have no idea. And so, I mean, it's harder now because people generally watch things online or chopped up. I was in the Savage Eye, right? And at the time, a few people watched the Savage Eye because it's chopped up and put out on social media. Everyone knows it now.
Yeah.
It's bigger than it was 10 years ago. And so it's very hard now, I think. I don't think... Like, Derry Girls was very popular.
Yeah,
It did
that's great.
really well for Channel 4. And it's the same production company, same producers.
Wasn't as good as Father Ted, though, was it?
But anyway... But I mean, it wasn't quite good, and Ardle was in it and all that, you know. But so I mean, it's harder. It's just harder now. It was a different time. Like the audiences at that time for, you know, terrestrial television in Ireland and Britain were huge.
Yeah.
You know, it was like
It's the same everywhere. Yeah.
same everywhere. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll be in it. That's it. That's all that matters.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
you.
Is there any more questions? Oh, yes.
Good man. Come up to the mic. Oh, you have the mic there. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Where'd you rob that from?
That's very professional.
Just one of the standout things about Father Ted for me was the amount of brilliant guest actors and actresses that were involved in it. And I'm just wondering if you could pick one yourselves. Did you just have particular favourites of all the different priests, nuns,
No, we hated them all.
characters that were in the show?
Especially Graham Norton because he's successful. My favourite, well, these guys were great, and Joe, I do really like them. What do you call Brendan Grace as well? I thought that was a phenomenal performance. Wasn't he brilliant?
Yeah.
I love that. What was his name again? Father Stack.
Oh, gosh,
And he played so against type.
Yeah.
Because he'd always played these ridiculous Dublin characters, whatever. And he was such a meanie. I thought that was hilarious. Now.
Yeah.
And obviously, Jim Norton as Bishop Brennan was brilliant as well. That was a great episode.
And we haven't talked much about Pauline, who was just...
Well, Pauline,
I did mention her.
They were he was asking about guest.
Yeah.
You asked about guest.
I know.
anyone,
I
regulars or
heard what
guests,
was said.
But I think when I did it, Pauline's part was quite small. Because she just came in with tea and then I think that was it. Just went out again. That was it. But she obviously sort of built the part up for herself as the series went on. Because in the end, she was one of the main characters.
Brilliant.
It was a mad thing, though. Some of these people in Ted were Shakespearean actors. Jim Norton's a serious actor.
He's a proper actor.
Pauline and Frank. Frank, done amazing work. And then we were coming along who'd never acted. I cannot act, right? I'm shite. Yeah. And all I had to do was turn up and say, I've no willy, as me. And that was it. There was nothing to it. Yeah. And it was a joke. Like, we had more lines than Pauline, who was brilliant. And like, Pauline and Frank had nothing to do all week in rehearsal. Because basically, there's not much rehearsal to drink fake arse girls. That's it. Or go on. And they just did it so brilliantly.
Yeah.
They probably said very little over the course of the series, but just such an impact.
Well, I think Pauline did near the end. She was getting sort of a lot of words to say, wasn't she?
Yeah, a bit more.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, Dermot and Ardle were in every scene, and so they had an awful lot of work. But the others just hung around knitting and doing crosswords, and that was it. But like, it was mad. Like, I've spoken to Michael. Like, we did like auditions after Father, because he had Father Ted. It's a high-profile thing. Yeah. We were brought in for auditions. I auditioned for Angela's Ashes. And the director just couldn't believe how bad I was. It's like someone just walked in off the street, never acted before, because I couldn't act. I couldn't have a clue. Yeah, but most of the guest acts were stand-ups, like Patrick and myself. And you were probably more of an actor than he was a proper actor.
But same as Patrick, I was called in for lots of auditions after Father Stone, and never got any of them either, because I'm a crap actor, basically. It was quite easy. It was quite easy to do the part I did because it was sort of built in my stand-up act, so just deliver a line and just say nothing after that. So it was quite easy for me, really. Like, I can act within a very strict framework, but I couldn't sort of do proper acting now.
Yeah, thanks.
We have another one on the left here.
Was there ever a reaction from any priests to Father Ted?
That's a good one.
I think in America, wasn't there? Like the Catholic Church around Boston wanted it banned. I think.
The Boston, they're very
quite strong there. The Catholic Church couldn't really do much or say much to ban it. Like,
I think most of them took it as a joke. Really, I don't think it wasn't really that heavy-handed, was it?
No, it was actually one of the best pieces of propaganda for a Catholic Church.
Probably
it
was,
made them seem harmless.
Yeah. Apparently, thousands of Protestants became Catholics after they saw Father Ted.
Yeah.
Do we have a question here?
Oh yeah. Is there an episode apart from your own episode? What would be your favourite episode from the whole series? And is there an episode that you wish that you'd been in?
I wish I'd been in them all.
Yeah. Yeah, we just all wish we were Father Ted, really.
Yeah.
I like his episode a lot now. I like Father Stone. I love that episode. It was one of the first, and I knew people like Father Stone. I lived in a flat with a guy with Father Stone. He wouldn't say anything for weeks. Yeah. Literally like that. So I just thought it was so well observed that it still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I suppose I always forget the name of the episode, but it was where they're saying, "So I hear you're racist now, Ted."
Yeah.
What was the name of the episode? Can anybody
it was
remember?
the first in the third series, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of the episode, but that was my favourite scene, I think, of the whole series. That was brilliant.
And,
That's right. Are you
That's
right
it.
there,
Well
Father
done.
Ted?
Yes. Well done.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well done.
there we go.
Oh, you're right there, Father Ted. Yeah, that was it. That's my favourite. Yeah. Ben?
And Ben, what about
Do I
yourself?
have a favourite?
Yeah, Ben doesn't have one. It's okay.
I like
we move on.
I hate to say it because he's, he should be here. I'd like Joe's episodes are great. It's a great character. Joe's episodes, just terrific, and it's such a great idea, terrific idea. A sort of errant teenager who's also a priest. I think we probably all met priests at some stage who were just like, "You're too young to guide me. How can you advise me on anything? You're 4."
He definitely appears as like the less priestly priest in the show.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But it's really true to the nature of it that I think we were all thinking maybe at different times of our life. I don't think I'm getting the right advice here, and he's sort of is an emblem of that. I think.
I suppose like with him and Ardle playing Father Dougal, you wouldn't want him doing your mass or your funeral or anything like that.
Yeah, I remember when
Or going to confession for either of them.
when my wife told me that she fancied the priest that married us. That was the beginning of the end of our marriage. that was Finbar. I remember his name is. I'm going to hunt that man down. That's when the rot set in.
He probably liked you more.
That's a possibility now I think of it. I won't find him. I leave him alone.
Oh dear. Okay, so I've a couple of individual questions for you, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, Michael,
Yes.
where did the inspiration for literal stone face come from?
Little what?
Where did the inspiration
Where
come
did the
from
inspiration come
Where
from?
did the inspiration come
from for Father Stone?
The inspiration for Father Stone?
Yeah.
You mean from the writers or from me? Or
No, you channeled him. So where did
it was from my stand-up act. When I did stand-up, I used to sort of deliver a one line and then just stare at the audience and not say anything till they laughed. And if they didn't, I just waited till they laughed. So I think that's where it came from. I think. I mean, I have a sort of it's the moustache and eyebrows kind of make the face kind of stony, if you like. So it wasn't really inspiration. It was just the way I was created. I couldn't do anything about it.
He made no effort at all.
No. Well,
That's what he was trying to say.
It took me a good 4 weeks to grow the moustache, so that was a bit of an effort.
And was it difficult to kind of keep the straight face?
No, well, as I say, apart from the toilet scene, it wasn't, because also you realise that their filming costs a fortune, so you can't muck about. You know, if they have to keep taking retakes, they get really, really annoyed with you. So, and also the fact that I didn't have much to say, it was quite easy. I mean, saying I'm fine or how's Father Shortall? He must be what 105 now, I suppose. You know, wasn't really very difficult. So, did somebody say something? No. What? Sorry, Nate, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yes.
Get it right.
Yes. I'm very sorry. Apologies, everyone. I think I'll leave now.
Okay, so my next question for Ben.
Go on.
Obviously, you went into the toilet for a couple of minutes to try and get this character out, but where did the inspiration for your character come from?
Well, I know a couple of things, and one is that you can't be, if you're playing a boring person, you can't be boring. That's not possible. And really boring people are quite busy. They're active, you know. And I really like the idea of somebody who's so self-obsessed that they don't care if you're there or not. They just go on and on and on. And I thought that was very good. And I love the idea of no eye contact. I thought that was great. Somebody who's just scooting around the place and couldn't care less. And if you're gone, it carries on. I thought for me, it was about making it a really active person. So it was the opposite, really. And I think that was great fun. So when I came up and went upstairs to do it, and, you know, we were doing the numbers. You can get all the numbers, you know, 47, 92. I went on for about a minute and a half. And they said, that's great. They were all laughing. It was great. And I said, can you just make it a bit tighter? Because, you know, we have to get off before the news. So the character really came from just knowing that you've got to sort of, you've got to be active. I mean, I come from an acting background, so for me it's developing a character. These guys, you know, I have stand-up behind them. I didn't do that, so I'd done a lot of improv stuff, so writing stuff was easy. But most of it was to do with just making sure it hits, and it'll just keep going forever. And you'll open up a door in 10 years, and the guys will still be in there talking about heating or boilers or, chicken dinners or whatever.
Numbers.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so Patrick, over the course of the last, it's 25, 26
25
years?
now,
25 years. How many jumpers or cakes have you been given?
Quite
over
a
that
few,
time frame?
yeah. I like the jumpers and I like the cakes, but not the jumpers in cakes, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah. But for me, I was just playing myself really and doing doing my persona from stand up. That was it. Like I said earlier, And again, a bit like yourself, I did. Not making eye contact was a big thing for Owen, especially when we went into the room. Just not making eye contact and be completely distracted and walking around and turning my back and all of that was a big thing for Owen. Just to be detached from them and in his own world. And just and a funny thing as well, I remember, I get hungry very quickly. So like Owen, I'd say they probably got that, like, I'm hungry, where's the jam? I'd say that came from just me observing me. Because I'm starved. I could just get starved and all. I'm hungry now, actually. I'm starving.
Has anyone got any cake?
I can't believe you actually did genuinely sell jumpers. Were you good jumper sales?
People sell jumpers, Michael.
Did you have a sales spiel, though?
Huh?
Did you have a sales spiel for selling jumpers?
Yeah, I did. How are you doing? Are you looking, what size would you be? I'd say you're a large. Do you want a crew neck or a cow neck or something? Yeah, no, I'll try it on. Yeah, that's it.
That's very good. That's impressive.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you did that. What's the best material for a good jumper?
Or wool. Listen, wool. Yeah, I can see acrylic mile away. That's acrylic,
That's acrylic,
and well, it has to be cool, And acrylic. We sold mohair, Angora, and all that. But I suppose, maybe the mohair and Angola breathe a bit more. It's slightly lighter. But the acrylic mixes I don't like because they do sag. And don't wash them and don't hang them up. Put them down flat to dry, will you?
Christ, you do really know
don't
what you're
put
talking
wool
about.
in the dryer. Come on.
There was a show a number of years ago, and I'm going to direct this to Michael and Patrick. There was a wrestling show a number of years ago in the Tivoli
We don't like
Theatre.
to talk about that.
You mean the thing we did live?
Yes.
That was dreadful, yeah.
That was OTT wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was a show called Ted.
Yeah.
It was
What was that like?
It was an absolute horrible disaster. Because they had it. This guy tried to mix wrestling and
stand up
and stand up between Pat, myself, and Joe. But it was an actual wrestling ring with 4 sides, and they were all just there to see wrestling. And you had to get into this ring, but you had audiences. The audience was on 4 sides, there, and there. So you had to sort of keep turning around and doing gags, and just nobody was interested, nobody was listening, and all the gags died on their arse, and it was just bloody horrible, really. So yeah, it was a disaster.
But we didn't know we were going to do wrestling. We went down and we said, we'll do the stand-up, and then they said, no, you have to do wrestling. And so we had to rehearse. By the way, this is a secret. Wrestling is all made up, right? I'm sorry. Oh, look, I've ruined it now. But so we had to rehearse the wrestle. Yeah. And someone had to grab my crotch because I've no willy in the show. And that was embarrassing. And so I had to hit someone with a chair and all that. I mean, I didn't mind it so much. You were the referee.
Was I?
I think you were, yeah. Myself and Joe had to fight, and I fought a woman.
Father Stone was definitely the referee.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah.
I could just blot it out of my mind, the whole thing.
Yeah. So I had to hit someone with a chair. Yeah. And it was great. I did get to get frustrations out. I didn't mind it, actually. Yeah, I didn't mind. I wouldn't mind wrestling. Yeah.
I never heard of this before. You did that.
No.
That sounds awful.
It was awful, yes.
I'm so glad I live abroad.
Were any of you there? Were any of you at it by any chance? No.
That's remarkably awful.
By the way, do you want to see us wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have to have somebody up from the audience to do it, though. We'll throw you from one to the other.
Any wrestling volunteers?
Any small people in the audience?
He's got claws. He's not getting up here.
So you want us to throw you from one of us to the other? Okay, we'll give it a go then. Do you want to do that?
Just gonna wrestle.
This could end horribly. Is there any doctors in the audience? Can you get up there? Why are you wearing gloves as a matter of interest? Wolverine, okay.
God, Wolverine.
Let's
Good man, round of applause. Come on up.
Penny, he's not
allowed. They're insured. We're not insured.
Sorry about that.
He's not insured.
We can do it outside in 10 minutes. I'll be the referee, okay?
Out the back.
I'll just push you back into your seat.
I do have some experience.
That looks horrible now. Looks in a... Wow.
Yay! Okay. Are there any more questions from the audience?
Come on.
One more. No?
Yes,
That's Mrs. Doyle is here.
So there's a guy here.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Mrs. Doyle, one second.
There, she's up the back there.
If it was made today in today's society with kind of all the wokeness and all, would it float?
With wokeness.
Would it hold up today if it was made today with all the kind of cancel culture and wokeness that's about the place again?
I mean, like, there's a few things. There's a few scenes, like, I think, that I'm not sure if they're cut or they had to acknowledge, and I think there probably is an acknowledgement before. I think there's a scene where there's a bit of blackface where the 3 priests from Rugged Island played the Supremes. And so I think there might be a warning before that. Would I say I've no willy now? I don't know.
Well, I think you've said it about 10 times today, so...
I've no willy. But probably not. You probably would. Look, definitely years ago, I worked on different shows, and we never gave a flying shite about what we said, the language. We didn't care. On RT, say, yeah, Firehead, not now. No way would you get away with most of that now. No, the Savage Eye stuff, not in a million years.
That was quite...
Yeah, hard hitting.
On the line there.
Father Ted wasn't really hard hitting, though, was it?
No.
It was a different thing.
Now, is Mrs. Doyle, is she still there?
Where's Mrs. Doyle?
Has she got a question?
She's up there.
Hey!
We'll take Mrs. Doyle as the last question, I think.
Does she? And you have a cup of tea, lads?
No, thanks, I'm fine.
If it has beer in it.
Go away.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to catch the menopause.
Okay, Les, well, before we finish up, I'm wondering if you'll indulge me and give me your best line each.
God, now. Ask yourself. There you go.
I'm here all day. Well, unless there's a fire.
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
Nothing's changed.
I've said all mine 10 times already.
Yes, you have. But what's your favourite one?
I can have you killed.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, a massive, massive round of applause for the cast of Father Ted.
Thank you.